Do you know what United Methodist polity and the classic Spielberg film E.T. have in common? Do you even know what polity is? For those of you who don't, when someone mentions the polity of the church, he or she is referencing the manner by which the church is organized. Laws, rules, suggestions, the things that hold us together. Perfect. Now back to our main question. What does our United Methodist structure or polity have in common with the amazingly touching film E.T. the Extraterrestrial? Well, actually, before that, we've got to talk about some other stuff. Because in understanding our polity, we need to understand the term annual conference. Here's a multiple choice question for you. What is an annual conference? Is it A, regional body, B, organizational unit, C, yearly meeting, or D, all of the above? If you guessed D, then you are correct. I have no prizes though, sorry. But an annual conference is all of those things. In the US, an annual conference can encompass as many as 2 or more states, like the California Pacific Conference, which covers parts of California and Hawaii and even some Pacific Islands. An annual conference can also be the size of half a state, like the North Georgia Annual Conference. In all, the US has 54 annual conferences. There are an additional 75 in Africa, Europe, and the Philippines, all over the globe. Which brings me back to E.T. Wait, not yet. Apart from being a regional body, the annual conference is also an organizational body, complete with a central office, staff, and directors to assist the ministries at work in those regions. Lastly, the annual conference is a yearly meeting. Each year, annual conferences host a session composed of an equal number of clergy and lay, which means non-clergy, members. The session lasts a number of days and includes worship, fellowship, ordination of new ministers, retirement services, memorial services, and the business of the church, things like budgets and ministry reports. Also, the business of the church includes electing delegates to jurisdictional and general conferences every 4 years. In an election year, the delegates of annual conference, comprised of all clergy and non-clergy delegates from all the churches in that conference, vote on a set number of delegates to send to both jurisdictional and general conference. There are the same number of clergy delegates elected as there are non-clergy delegates, and then there are equal numbers of alternates elected as well. The jurisdictional delegates will go to jurisdictional conference. In the US, the UMC is divided into 5 areas or jurisdictions based on geography. Every 4 years, we hold a jurisdictional conference where delegates elect bishops and members of our boards and agencies. Now, North Georgia is a member of the Southeastern jurisdiction, which usually meets at Lake Junaluska, North Carolina, one of my favorite places in the world. Every time I go, I feel at home. Speaking of home, what does E.T. have to do with all this? Hold on, I know what you're thinking. What about general conference delegates? Where do they go? Well, general conference delegates go to general conference. And what is general conference? Good question. To find out about that, resourceumc.org has actually made a really good video for that. And if it ain't broke. And listen, the whole conferencing thing in the UMC can be a little bit overwhelming at times. But it is important to know that John Wesley saw the Christian conference as a means of grace, a manner by which God might further sanctify us. When it comes to encouraging and strengthening one another, the Christian community is so important. And don't worry, I know I didn't answer the ET question, but check in next time, because I might.